Any other places you can get the oil change
I get
done.
that.
I'm not doing it.
I get that.
You can go.
I get that.
You can go.
All right. Your name? You're the store manager, Samuel? Samuel?
Yes.
Okay. And you're not going to do it because of what?
I'm not doing your oil change.
Because of what? There's no oil
I
leak,
am
bro.
not doing.
Just because you
oil.
see
I said coolant.
coolant leak. Just because you see that. Just because you see it.
On a vehicle
just
that leaks
because.
coolant.
Okay, so put
I
it
am
up.
not
All right.
able to do an oil change on a vehicle that leaks coolant.
All right, cool.
I am not
I got
able
you. I got
to
you.
do an oil change
got
on
you.
a vehicle that leaks coolant.
I'm gonna let you finish.
I'm going to advise you to go to a full service shop or somewhere else.
All right.
Simple as that. We go down there. We don't have
So
anything
that
lifts it up. We go down and sit up under the vehicle.
So that we're not arguing.
As simple as that.
I understand.
I'm not arguing. I simply told you.
Well, you're raising your voice.
That we cannot service the vehicle with it leaking coolant.
So can I ask you a question?
Blank period. I don't have anything else to say to you.
But can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? My man.
Saying that the paper says something we couldn't get a filter off. That has nothing to do with your coolant being leaking.
Okay.
I cannot service the vehicle because we go down up under the vehicle.
Now I understand.
With it leaking the coolant.
Got it.
The filter being over tightened is a whole different situation from the coolant.
I understand.
We have to go down there and look up. Coolant gets in our eyes. That's a whole health violation. All type things.
Okay. Yes, I got you.
Yes, I did approach you with the, hey, why do people come in here
at the end of the day? Right.
Yes, that has nothing to do with why you have a coolant.
But even that,
why I can't service the vehicle.
Okay, I got you.
I did give you that.
I got
but
you.
that has nothing to do with anything. Had you not had that coolant leak, we would have serviced the vehicle
so that when
and got you on about your way.
Thank you. So that when I come back the next time, I get this fixed, right? So you say I need to get the coolant leak fixed.
You do need to get that fixed. Yes.
So if I get the coolant leak fixed,
I have no problem trying to get your.
Let me finish asking the question. Once I get the leak fixed, let's say I don't dry that off. Let's say I don't clean that off. How do you know that it's leaking versus not leaking?
How many times has this happened to you before?
Like at least 10. And like I said, boss man, if he hopped out his car, I would ask him to get back in. And if he didn't, we haven't even started the oil change. I would not do his oil change because he didn't want to follow the policy and procedure we have here to make sure that the customer is safe, not to make sure we are safe. The customer. We don't want you to hurt yourself.
So,
I get that it's hot, sir. I get that it's hot. I get that. But I done did 45 oil changes today, and not once has somebody hopped out the car because it was hot. I get it. But we have rules and procedures that we must follow. So if I don't follow what I'm doing, I get in trouble. So you okay with me getting in trouble and not doing my job, and all I'm trying to do is enforce my job?
So do you talk to all your customers this way?
Like what? I'm talking to you like this, boss man, because you didn't want to follow the instructions that I had. We asked you 3 to 4 times politely to get back in your car.
And I told you.
And you didn't. And you said it was hot. I get that, sir. I get that.
I told you politely.
That's not my problem, sir. You came at 4 o'clock to get your oil changed. I get that it's hot. He offered you a bottle of water.
That wouldn't help me.
Okay, that's not my problem, boss man. You still have to stay in your car. Just like this man right here is in his car, he's staying in his car.
You're not open at 9 o'clock at night.
Boss man, you steering away from the whole situation. You didn't want to get back in your car.
Are you trained?
You didn't want to get back in your car, sir.
Are you trained in first aid?
You trying to go this way, sir. If you can agree that you didn't want to get back in your car, we can stop the conversation. You didn't want to get back in your car.
Are you trained in first aid?
Boss man, hold on. I shouldn't have to repeat myself to you. You not a kid, I'm not a kid. So if I ask you one time as an adult, you should respect me to do what I asked you to do. You didn't, boss man, so I don't care nothing that you got to say.
If this person passes out from heat stroke, are you prepared to give first aid?
You know, it's amazing to me just dealing with the first video, how you have a lot of people that would like to say the customer is always right. You have a lot of customers out here, almost, I want to say in the 90 percentile, that will watch both of these videos and they will assess and say that, oh, the people that were servicing the car, they were aggressive, they were raising their tone, raising their voice. I could see some sarcasm, and I don't like the body language and how it is that he's specifically talking to the customer. That's not very professional. That's not business-like. This person needs to be reported. Matter of fact, they don't need to be working in customer service. They no longer need to actually have a job if this is the way that they're going to act and talk towards a customer when they're simply trying to get one thing done of which you provide. Thinking, just looking at the situation, and I just have to question for the customers out there, are you stupid? Why on God's green earth would you argue with somebody that knows about cars, that knows the inner workings and the details of your car? They could do anything. They could go directly under that car, poke a few holes, doop, doop, doop. And, now in a few days to a month, you're going to have, a whole nother car problem, which you don't even know what's specifically taking place or how it specifically happened. On top of that, I've also showcased videos of people in the food industry and customers wanting to sit up there and debate and wanting to argue. And I have to ask again, are you stupid, insane, or dumb? Are you stupid, insane, or dumb to argue with somebody who is in control of your food? Any and everything can literally happen to your food behind that counter. You won't even know because you're in a drive-through window. And you think that by you sitting up there hollering, yelling, and arguing with these people, that your food is going to come out even faster and it's going to be the best that you've just ever had at any other franchise. They're going to drop a few burgers, a few nuggets or whatnot, whatever, directly on the floor. You're going to get a special number 5, and special number 5 is not even on the menu. It's going to be a lot of things that are going to take place because you're being stupid, because you feel that you are entitled to something, even though all you could easily do is fix your own food at home. Same thing with the very first guy. Instead of trying to play these Jeopardy questions as if, I'm going to get you with a gotcha about cars because, you're acting like you really know. And let me just ask you this question. If, I get that problem fixed and then I don't really drive my car, what then? That's some crazy stuff. And I find it funny how the guy that was recording proceeded to cut off the video when the guy was going to the car and was going to clearly explain how it is that he would have known. I find that quite hilarious. I find that quite funny. Very interesting. But yet, here we are.
And now he has to overcome another obstacle. So I'm going to support him. I'm going to lift him up. And I'm going to be there for him. Because I see the way he fights. I see the way that he works. And I know who he is as a person, and that's all I have to say.
Let me tell you, at any point in time, if I ever had a business, I would want both of these brothers representing my business because of their professionalism, how it is, their work ethic, how they're following the rules and the directions so that they don't violate anything. I've been to enough oil changes myself throughout my lifetime where they'll either ask you, okay, you can either stay in the car as we do the oil change and, and drive it up. You just, can't get out of the car. Or you can wait inside of our building where we have a little bit of air conditioning and, a vending machine. And then we'll pull the car directly in and work on the car. Those are the two options that they normally give you. This clown was like, it's too hot in my car. I can't stand the heat. I might sit up there and have a heat stroke and all this other type of stuff. That's a personal problem. You decided to not do your oil change in the morning. You opted out of all of the days that we got in the week, out of all of the many hours that we got in the week, you opted to go when it is the hottest during the day. You opted to get an oil change when it is the hottest day out of the week. All of those are your decision, and it's a personal problem and or an issue. But this clown, no matter how the brother tried to eloquently explain the situation, no matter how calmly he tried to explain the situation, no matter how humanly he tried to talk to this man, he wanted to just keep going to prove some type of point. He was like, it was too hot directly, in the car. Do you not understand that this man did 45 oil changes in the exact same heat? There is no air conditioning in that garage when both of the garages are up. Whatever is the temperature outside, it is that inside, and probably then some because of the heat coming directly from the car which you just drove to get to the establishment. But he's not thinking about that though. On top of that, the brother basically told him, he's like, hey, we offered you a bottle of water. He's like, that wasn't enough. This, that, and the third. Are you trained in first aid if somebody were to sit up there and pass out? That's a personal problem. That's a personal problem. Why would you go out if you know that it is so hot outside that you may require first aid. That's a personal problem. That is a very personal problem. It also sounds like you might need to do some exercising as well. You might want to sit up there and do that. If you can't cool off with a nice cold bottle of water, you may want to go outside. You may start, doing some exercise regimens. You may want to sit up there and start working out your body if you're overheating like that. That's crazy. That is 100% crazy. And you kept trying to push the issue. The brother literally said, like, we got these rules not for us, but for you. Because people got to understand that those floors, those are smooth floors. Smooth floors. So if any type of liquid hits those floors, hits that surface, immediately you're slipping. Especially if you don't got on, like, let's say like some non-slip shoes. You are slipping. Even with non-slip shoes, you still may slip. So just think if he allowed him to just freely go to and from his car whenever it is that he wanted to, and that there's like some oil, coolant, or whatever liquid on the floor, guess what that dude gonna be trying to sue real quick? It was like, oh, I hurt my leg, I tore my ACL, my doula, whatever it is. I was gonna say something else, but y'all know what I'm saying. My doula oblongata, but even though it's the brain, but y'all know what I'm saying, right? And the main fact is this: if that man would have allowed him, the customer, to do what it is that he wanted to do, the customer would have been trying to figure out or find a way to sit up there and sue them just over a little bit of something. Let him have got a scrape on his kneecap. Oh, I'm getting a lawyer because I got injured at this oil change place, and this just shouldn't have happened. Obviously, this is not up to it would have been a whole thing. He seems like that type of person because he's making this a bigger issue than realistically what it is. The brother simply told you, hey, if you're going to be here for this oil change, stay directly inside of your car. As he told him, I shouldn't have to repeat myself more than once because you are a grown man. I shouldn't have to talk to you like a child, but obviously I do. And I like how the customer was trying to do like some micro antagonizing to the brother in order to try to get him to act out. And the brother was like, I'm not doing this. we're not doing this. And he tried quite a few times directly while he was speaking. Do you speak to all your customers this way? What do you like? What? Like an adult? Treating you like an adult instead of a child? Instead of somebody that is stupid? Yeah, he talks to everybody as an adult. Like, that's the craziest thing. Like, you come to them and talk to them as human beings, and now it's a problem. You come to them and you tell them what the rules and the regulations are. Now it's a problem. You're not good for customer service. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. This is why that whole terminology of the customer is always right needs to be thrown directly out, because 90+% of the times, as I've been able to see, both being on the side of a customer service person and also being somebody who is in the line to be serviced, the customers are wrong. The customers are wrong. The customers are wrong. The customers are wrong. They have the nastiest attitudes, body language, the way that they decide to address and speak to a whole nother person because they're having a bad day. I done seen it too many times from customers. I done seen some of the most pleasant people in customer service get cussed out for no reason. And even still, while being cussed out, they're still trying to be pleasant. They're still working on de-escalation. They're still trying to offer somebody free, all to no avail, because guess what? The customer's like, I'm right. I'm going to cuss you out. I'm having a bad day, and I'm going to put all of this negativity and this energy directly on you, even though you're undeserving. And I'm never going to give this exact same energy to the person who messed up my day or my energy. That's how it works. That's how it works in customer service. A lot of adults do not know how to adult. A lot of adults don't know how to manage their emotions or their feelings. So they're going to pass whatever hurt and pain that they're going through onto somebody else who is undeserving, versus just either A, sitting directly in it, or B, returning that energy back to sender. A lot of people are not brave enough to actually do that. So this is why you have people going out and treating people in customer service a certain type of way. And these are facts. This is not up for debate. I don't care what your feelings are. I'm going over facts of things that I have specifically faced and witnessed myself on both sides. So like I said, it is what it is. A lot of adults out here need to do better, and the customer is not always right. Better yet, the customer ain't right. So anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that I stated in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.